Oh my gosh. He's going to say it. Say what? Avengers, flame on! Sorry, what now?
That was one of the best. I don't even know what you call that. Like, just, it's like a joke, but obviously, like, I don't know.
I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I felt as though I knew of the Cavill appearance before it happened. I had heard rumors that it was no secret that Chris Evans was not gonna be in that Deadpool versus Wolverine. But and then you'd heard some other things about this and that, but and you're just like, I think the one that I was the most surprised by was Elektra and Blade.
Yeah, Blade surprised me too. I was like, oh yeah, it's Blade.
Elektra, Blade, Gambit.
Yeah, Gambit was also like, oh, okay. And it's fun to hear the backstory about like how he's always wanted to do a Gambit movie, and apparently they were going to do a Gambit movie. It got greenlit, and then Disney bought Fox, and then Disney was like, "No, we're going to halt production on everything right now."
Anything X-Men.
Yeah. So
I was spoiled with that Chris Evans appearance because I hadn't seen it, and we saw it in a commercial.
Mm-hmm.
We were like,
"Oh,
so he's in it."
That's a bummer.
You saw it in a commercial, a trailer?
No, we saw it in a commercial. Right after it got released digitally on the interwebs. And I was like, oh man.
That's too bad. Have you seen the full movie now?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. That's unfortunate.
So just out of curiosity, where does it rank? I think we talked about this, but I think I like this one the most. I like, because of just, that a whole drag long out scene with him having cancer in the first one, I find that makes it harder to watch.
Mm-hmm.
The second one isn't that good unless you watch the PG-13 version, Once Upon a Deadpool, where he is going back and forth between Fred Savage as he has the original Princess Bride, Fred Savage, abduction set that he does. I think that makes Deadpool 2 worth in second place, and I think the first one for me is in last place.
Yeah, I haven't watched the PG-13, so right now it's 3-1-2.
I'll have to bring that by next week.
So I think Deadpool works much better as a side character than the main character in this film, and I think with having Wolverine in there, he kind of takes a sidestep with this story. And I think he works even better. As a main character, he can almost be too much.
He's always like a Vince Vaughn.
Yeah.
Where Vince Vaughn in a movie by himself, it's like, ooh, that's a lot. That's a lot of Vince Vaughn.
It's a lot of Vince Vaughn.
But I would agree. 3-1-2.
But with the PG-13.
Yeah. Have you seen Once Upon a Deadpool?
No, I haven't. I've seen a bit. I've seen clips.
Okay. So this thing is going to be passed around. All right.
Well, welcome to the Utterly Useless Podcast, where everything is useless. And I guess, Brett, you're Deadpool, right?
All right. Well, I guess, let's see. No. What do I want to do? From the TVA to my left is Timmy.
TVA.
Hello.
Timmy.
Let's see. To my right is, it's not a bird. It's not a plane. It's the Calvarine.
The Calvary. Oh, thank you.
Shing, shing.
I'm not to your right.
Left. My other right.
Stage right.
Stage right.
We're fourth wall breaking here.
And then which one are you?
Let's see. I'm the comic accurate Wolverine, so I'm the shortest one out of them all.
That's true. I forgot about that one. He hops off and he's
like, stuck the landing, didn't you, little guy?
You know what? Like, I was kind of surprised how much I enjoyed the intro of that movie. Like that.
The funny thing is I can tell which one of my, 5th grade students has seen that, because they suddenly just burst into NSYNC's Bye Bye Bye. And I'm like, that's not your age.
I love how it's now called Dub the Wolverine, the Deadpool song, instead of Bye 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 or NSYNC song.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's just how people refer to it now.
Is what it is.
Well, I'll tell you that the intro helped me get 1 point right in like a Halloween contest or something like that. One of the questions was, how many bones are there in the human body? And my brain just goes, yeah, I heard, Deadpool going, there's many bones in the human body. This many bones in my body when I'm watching Gossip Girls.
That's funny. So what's the number?
I can't remember. But I knew it at the time, and that's the most
and that's what
part.
mattered.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well,
all right, merit badges. What do we got?
All right. Thanks, Taylor. Well, I got a lot of merit badges. It's been a while since we chatted. I'm going to go through some of them pretty quick, but merit badge number 1, I finished my first year as a soccer coach.
Congratulations.
We were like 7-1, so I'm proud of my girls. The only reason we lost one is because we didn't have anybody to sub out my girls, because there was like just nobody showed up that day, and it was like a really hot day and they were like dying. So I give it to the fact that we didn't have enough adequate team members to rest them. And it was funny because it was like pulling teeth when we finally got one person to come. And so, we'd change one person at a time. They'd be like on the sidelines, I'm not going back in, coach. I can't do it. I'm like, you got to. The way you feel right now is how 4 of the girls feel right now.
It's for the team.
Yep. Next one is I don't know what it was, but like when I went on one of my trips recently, every flight I was on, people were sitting in my seat every single time, and I had to be the you're sitting in my seat. And it's just like I'm not really like, it's like I don't know where you're sitting, so I can't just assume where to sit. So it's just that little bag of like, well, this is my seat. If you want if your seat's not ridiculously bad, I will take your seat. But it's like, they're like, oh, and this one lady's like, oh no, you're wrong. This is our seat because we have A and you have Z. And I'm like, it's clearly marked like goes A and B over here, and this side is like, C, D, and E and all that stuff. I'm just like, you just can't read, can you? But I'm like, whatever. I didn't even say anything. I was like, all right, I'll just take the other seat. So,
obviously, she has not gone to the center for children who can't read good.
Obviously.
Don't make me tap the sign.
But it was fine. It was like one aisle seat for another aisle seat. And I was like, it didn't make a difference to me. And I guess the last one is I've succumbed to a little bit of my curiosity got the best of me, and I bought some Crocs.
Ooh. Jason ones that I sent you?
No, I did not.
Yes.
I do enjoy the fact I don't have them on now.
I know. I looked at your feet just briefly.
I don't wear them inside usually.
I have mine on now.
They're just very convenient to like put on when you just leave the house, just for like, leaving for a short minute to go run an errand.
They're great
to drive, to run outside and do something real quick. Like I'm going to call them, they're my outside slippers.
Okay. So just out of curiosity, Tim, when did you go from that to just having them be every single aspect of your, when did they start life? They started creeping
13 years ago. 14 years ago.
Oh, wow.
So you bought them innocently. I'm just going to use these as like quick.
Or did
shoes.
you dive all in?
I dived all in.
Oh, okay.
I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4 pairs of Crocs right now. I've burned through, I think, 3 pairs.
Oh, wow.
4 pairs.
But yeah, they are very convenient, I will say.
I wear them to work.
I wear socks to work because I just work in my house. But yes, every time I leave the house, I am now wearing them unless I'm going to do something more serious.
It's begun.
It's kind of like Marshall in his pants. What is it? The pants, what is it called? Like where he leaves his perimeter of pants of where he doesn't wear pants. And so he slowly like leaves his room without pants. Then he leaves his apartment without pants. And then he leaves the apartment building without pants. just slowly grows.
They're so great. It doesn't matter if it's snowing outside or if it's 100 degrees.
See, and then also when I went backpacking, one of the trip tips that people taught me was like they just strap some Crocs to the back of their backpack. So when they're done hiking for the day, they just take off their like boots, hiking boots, and put those on. And they're like, "Oh, it's amazing." I was
Yeah.
like, all right,
Wow.
I'll try that.
Except I would hike with the Crocs. And then I'd have a relief pair behind me.
And then I'm gonna try and say this as comical as I can because it's a really sad. If you break it down, it's sad.
Mm-hmm.
2 trips in a row, one trip saw a dead guy, and the second trip I saw another guy that was profusely bleeding and had probably just recently been stabbed. So fun stuff.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it wasn't one of those, getting the whole gang together, walking down the train tracks to, see a dead body.
Nope, it wasn't one of those.
Uh-oh.
It was just driving along, and all of a sudden look over, and there's a dead body there.
Hey, that's a dead guy.
And then, I was walking to work one day on one of my trips and almost stepped in pretty much a river of blood. So
Wow.
gross.
Well,
It'll come out of your Crocs.
Do nurses wear Crocs?
Yes.
Okay. Well, then I guess there's for good reason.
all right. Well, I guess I got 2 merit badges. The first one I have it's not a Croc related merit badge. So, I mean, I have that against me.
You'll get there.
You'll
Okay.
get there. Eventually
I'll get there. Yeah, it was funny because I've never wanted to really own them, but when we were sending all the Halloween possibilities of Crocs, I started doing a deep dive. I found a Pennywise one. I found obviously the Jason one. There was a Child's Play, Chucky one. I'm like,
Well, they're starting to decorate Crocs now with the holes. They put in little accessory
Yeah.
buttons on there. So I've seen some with Superman logos and Batman logos and
Yep.
don't get me going down the DC comic Croc thing. That could be a possibility.
Do you know what'd be funny? I don't know how well this would sell, but a funny idea for a Croc is the shoe that was melted in Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Oh yeah.
we should try and 3D print you some Crocs.
There we go.
I don't think that would feel well.
You can wear mine for a second and see how it feels.
Let's see. Anyway, so I got 2 merit badges. The first one is called "That's How You Get New Shoes?" ? So I was just sitting there in my classroom one day, and this kid comes in, and he is like, his head's down, and he's crying, and he just goes, "Could I go down to the school pantry, because we have basically clothes for kids that either need extra clothes because their SES is a little bit lower than everybody else's, or just emergency stuff." And he just goes, "Could I get some new shoes?" And I go, and I'm looking at these shoes, and they're white and they're blue. No, yeah, they're blue and yellow and white, and they look relatively new. And I'm like, "Why do you need new shoes?" And he's like, "Well, I would like to go down to the pantry to get some new shoes." And I go, "Why?" And he goes, "Well, because they're green." And I go, "Huh?" And he goes, "Look." And he starts kind of like giving me a sad face, and he points at this streak of where obviously a grass stain, and he goes, "They're green. Can I get some new shoes?" And I look at him, I'm like, "So do they still tie?" "Yes." "Do they hurt your feet?" "No." "The only problem is you have a grass stain on them." And he goes, "Uh-huh." And I go, "No."
Here's a brush and some water and soap and have at it.
And he's like, "Well, why?" I go, "Because do you play soccer or football at recess?" And even though I knew the answer, he goes, "I play soccer." I go, "So if I give you some new shoes, guess what's going to happen to those when next time you slide? They're going to be green?" "Yes." "It's called a grass stain."
That's funny. These kids, they're all indoors kids. And then when they go out, they're like, it's a different world out here.
All right. And my last merit badge is called the pencil sharpener. Now, maybe you know it from your schooling time, maybe you don't, but teachers protect their pencil sharpeners almost as, like they would a valuable piece of gold or something like that. Because the oddest things happen to pencil sharpeners. For example, a couple of teachers are like, nope, you cannot put colored pencils into the pencil sharpener because a colored pencil lead is softer and it will damage my pencil sharpener. Those are not allowed. And so
I've never heard that before.
I'd never heard that before until like about 3 years ago. And my students were like, can I use it? I don't care. Is it a pencil? And I go, okay, cool. It is called a pencil sharpener. That hence is a pencil. So that can go in the pencil sharpener to be sharpened. And so, but every single teacher is differently. I have had a pencil sharpener ruined because two kids at two different times in my career have put crayons in there. And I will tell you, it is so hard to not want to just erupt in just frustration, anger, and every so often the first time it happened, and the funny thing is both times it happened with my brand new pencil sharpener.
Oh, geez.
It was brand spanking new. And I look at both times I looked at the kid and I'm just like boiling with frustration. And I'm like, why did you put this crayon in here? Well, I wanted it to get sharp and it was, kind of dull. I go, okay, could you tell me what that is called? And they're like, it's a pencil sharpener. I go, uh-huh. What was the first part of the word? Pencil. I go, what did you shove in my pencil sharpener? A crayon. Okay, do you see a problem with this? What is the first part of that thing that's called a crayon? Is it called a crayon sharpener? No. Okay, do you see the problem with your thinking? So I've had to do that. So the other day I had a brand new pencil sharpener. I was given a gift of like these 30 black pencils, and I'm sitting there sharpening all of them so that, I can get them done and passed out or whatnot. And suddenly a pencil sharpener starts making a funny noise. And I look down and I'm like, why is it making a funny noise? This is brand spanking new pencil sharpener. And I pull out, and this pencil company that donated some black pencils, I didn't even notice that the color of the eraser was black also. I shoved the eraser end with the metal cap of this pencil, eraser end in to the pencil sharpener, destroying the pencil sharpener immediately.
Wow.
And so I'm like, all right, I own that one.
That's funny. You should get a label. Just be one of those people that's just like, why is there the teacher? They ask you, why is there a label on here that says pencils only, no crayons? Like, why do you have to label that? And like, well, let me tell you the story about some morons, and
yes.
be the person that's like, well, every sign has a reason in our room.
Yeah, exactly.
Somebody did something. I didn't have to think I had to tell you, but now I have to.
Yeah, sometimes my students ask me about like laws, and I'm like, well, the only reason why it's a law is somebody did it first.
Yep.
Like there's seatbelt laws because, people kept on dying because they weren't wearing seatbelts. They had to create a seatbelt because people were flying through there. So there's always a reason generally for everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, even though there's signs up, people still don't look and don't listen and don't read.
They don't.
I mean, case in point, the seat on the airplane.
Yep,
It's
exactly.
right there.
It's right there. Yep.
All right, my turn. My merit badge. I got the merit badge flirting with the edge.
Ooh.
I continuously flirt with becoming Kramer.
How so?
well, I commute to work, and there are times where I like to see how low I can get my gas tank.
I used to do that. I used to do that all the time.
And so I try and get lower each time. And I mean, my car is 14 years old, and there are times where I do have trust issues with the gauge. Like,
Mhm.
is there gas in there? I don't know. And I just try and get it lower and lower each time. So like, I got it once, it was like 25, and then I'm like, I could go 20, 17.
Oh, this is how many
13.
miles it predicts it has left in it.
Yeah. I'm like, can I go further? 8. Okay, I gotta fill up now.
If you're using that, I have hit 0 multiple times with a car full of my family, like my van I have. Like we're on a family trip,
Oh wow.
and I'm like, oh, there'll be another one like coming up, another gas station coming up, and there's not. And I'm like, I'm white knuckling it. I'm like, oh no.
It happened to me once when I was in college, and I was driving on the 80 across Nevada towards Idaho, and I was like, oh, I'll make it to the next gas station, and I'm like, it's like 10 miles away. What I didn't realize was there are a lot of hills, so when you go up, the gas goes back, and then you start to stall.
Oh,
yep. Also, so my first car that I had obviously didn't have that.
The green one?
No, the one I got from Dad.
Okay, the Accord.
Yeah, the Accord, and that one I had down pat of like how much I could drive after the light turned on, and I remember driving through from Salt Lake to Windover at that time, and halfway there the gauge turned on. And the people in the car were freaking out because, once you get past like Twiller and something like that, there's not a gas station. At least back then, there wasn't a gas station until you got to Windover. And they're like, we're going to run out of gas. I'm like, the sign on the road says it's about, I don't know, 30 miles away or something like that. I'm like, so in my car, and I was really anal about this for some reason, like every time I filled up, I did the math while it was filling up. I'd go, all right, I'm getting this many put this many gallons in there, and this is how much my odometer has in it versus last time. And I do the math, and I'm like, okay, this one I got like about 26 miles per gallon. I'm like, so like, I'm averaging about 25, 26 miles per gallon. And I'm like, so, and I know that after the light turns on, there's 5 gallons left. I'm like, we have more than enough. But they're freaking out back there. I'm like, it's fine.
I just always want to see how low I can go.
Uh-huh.
I don't know what it is, but it's like, I just want to keep pushing it. Like, do this.
It's a miracle I have not run out of gas with the van and with my family in the car, because I did it 2 weeks ago on the way to St. George. And yeah, I hit 0, and I'm like white knuckling. I'm like going up hills, down hills. I'm like, it's going to go. But I don't know. I would like to know how much of a buffer it is after it hits 0.
See, I don't do that. I just tell myself, I'm like, I'll look at the price per gallon, and I'm like, you know what? I have a feeling that if I withhold tomorrow, it'll go down. And I could save myself, and then I do the math, and I'm like, I could say, let's see. So if it goes down,
yeah, no, I hate
if I go down 10 cents, I'm like, oh, I'd be saving like $1.50.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I could do that, because that adds up after a while.
Let's go.
And then the next day it doesn't go down. And so I'm like, okay, no, I still feel as though I could do another day. Another day, I can do it. It's going to go down 10 cents or something, maybe 15 cents. That'd be $3. That'd be kind of cool. And then eventually it goes up, and then I'm like cursing myself the entire time. I'm like, why didn't I do that? It went up. Now I have to pay more. Instead of saving $1.50 or something, now I have to pay $4 more.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot.
And now I'm riding the bike.
Pass, Brett. Shaking my fist at you.
Yep. He does that a lot. Or I do that a lot to pass Brett.
Yeah, pass Brett sucks. I mean, pass Brett, pass Jeremy. Wow. Pass Jeremy sucks too.
Yeah.
That was really hard to get out of my mouth.
Spin the wheel.
All right, we have spin the wheel, where we have now 10 categories of questions. We're going to spin the wheel and decide who's going to be asking which questions. And Brett's, you're up first, and you get Could you fight it?
All right. So I have a theme with my spin the wheel. So the first one is, while in a body swap with your kid, could you fight your kid's school bully?
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying now. Okay, so we did like a what is that one?
Freaky Friday?
Yeah, Freaky Friday thing. But then I'm in their body now, right?
Uh-huh.
And I get to fight their bully.
Yes.
I don't know.
I'm gonna give it the college try.
Okay.
Of course you would.
But
Yeah.
let's think about this. You do this, you're okay, but then you swap back with your kid. Would they be okay then?
I think so. If you can make it polarizing enough. I mean, yeah.
Can I just like, was it verbally just get them like destroy them inside?
All right.
Just like I go up to them and just whisper all these things, horrible things, like I'm gonna do them if they continue on, and then like
So
I
you're-
know where you are. I've seen them. I sleeping.
So you're gonna pull like a Zac Efron in 17 again to,
Yep.
to the bully. Okay.
Yep. Is that what he does to a bully?
Using his words.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's right. He does. Yep, I remember now.
Why not?
Yeah, I mean I don't think I'd fight, but I would definitely verbally berate them in a way that hopefully it would stick in their brain that for like the next 10 years they would leave my kid alone.
Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will hurt forever.
There you go. All right. My turn, and I'm getting Desert Island. All right. So this desert island, you get to choose which desert island you'd like to be on. Would you like to be one that is directed and produced by M. Night Shyamalan
Oh crap.
or Tim Burton?
Oh crap.
I'm going with Tim Burton.
So I'm gonna go with M. Night because you know what?
It's going to be wow wow.
You know what the twist is? I won't actually have been on an island at all. I will have just been sitting in a sand trap, just worried. Like I can't believe I'm trapped.
It pans out. You're in a sand trap on a golf course that had water around it.
Yep. Tim Burton, I might end up dead.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do I have scissor hands or are there snakes? Like, what's going on? I'm hoping Tim's nice to me.
Let's see. There'll be singing claymations probably all around you.
This is Halloween.
This is a beach. Son of a beach.
Oh gosh.
And then you get the sandworm from Beetlejuice coming out.
Ah,
Okay.
By the way,
Yeah.
do you know they already green light number 3?
you got to be kidding me.
Serious?
Yep.
Haven't seen the second one.
I haven't either.
Just out of curiosity, have any of you guys seen not the third Ghostbusters movie,
Yes.
I've finally seen them all.
but
so.
the fourth one?
I've seen all of them.
I didn't mind it.
I started watching it, the fourth one, on the airplane.
This is the ice one, right?
Yeah.
This is where I watched it on
I
the airplane
could
too.
not stand it.
Oh, I didn't mind it at all.
I did not like the ending. Like I thought they finished the job too fast.
So it was super easy.
Barely
Barely
an
inconvenient.
inconvenience.
Yes, barely an inconvenience.
Oh, why am I having a hard time remembering? So, the
There's-
person that like kind of this old ancient ghost comes forward and that was very quick. And like the one, sometimes I really don't like it when the boss, if you will, it comes out like kind of in just one scene, and then they get rid of the boss in that one scene.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of what it was. I mean, I know that he traveled a tiny bit, but like that's more or less what it was.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I mean, I enjoyed it. I thought it was just a dumb action movie.
It was just one of those summer flicks. You just
Yep.
kind of turn your brain off and watch.
See, I like. I only got 5-7 minutes into it tops, just because the whole driving down New York Main Street or whatever, blasting sides of buildings off. I'm like sitting there just thinking, how many people are they killing right now? And then that's all I was thinking about.
Well, you should have kind of continued on just a little bit longer, because that's essentially what one of the main starting of the plots is like, yeah, you are reckless and all that stuff. And the one guy who I can't remember his name, but I can remember the little comment he said, Bill Murray says to him in like number 1.
Oh yeah. Yes. This is true. This man has no dick.
So he is the mayor.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And so he pretty much benches her, the girl who's doing all that, and says, you are too young to be, first of all, even doing any of this stuff. And then also tells the Ghostbusters that they only have like one more chance. And if they do mess up again, they're no more. And of course they mess up. And so of course they're no more. It's almost a repeat of number 1 in a sense with that. But yeah. And that was fun to see Bill Murray and Dan Aykroyd and I don't know the other guy's name.
Ernie Hudson
come back, and it was nice, if anything else. I don't know what I thought of the Indian guy from
Deadpool?
Eternals.
Eternals.
Oh.
You know that guy that it was almost the only saving grace of that whole movie of Eternals. He was, I don't know how I feel about his, like, him being there, because he was a major character in it later on.
I think it ended with the main boss just too fast. Like, come on, like, you built it up, like you thought there would be this kind of epic climatic event going on, and it just was like, wait, it's over.
Yeah,
it's done. That was fast.
Barely an inconvenience.
Yep.
All right, so you back to Desert Island. Brett, you're going with M. Night.
I'll go with my boy Tim Burton.
I'd go with M. Night, because I feel like the worst thing that could happen is the trees would kill me. All right, Curly, you're up next.
All right.
You get blind ranking.
All right, so we're going to rank these 5 food items without knowing what comes next.
Okay.
Number 1, chicken wings.
I am going to do that an optimistic 2.
Let's see. What kind of chicken wings are they? Boneless?
Could be bone-in, boneless, whatever you want.
Okay. I'm going to go 3.
3.
Ooh.
Interesting. Okay. Next, Philly cheesesteak sandwich.
5.
I'm gonna go with a 4.
Oh, 4.
Yeah. The easy cheese made it drop down to 5.
Yeah, well, that's not always necessary, right?
All the places I've ever had a Philly cheesesteak at has always squirted the easy cheese.
I've never done that.
There's a place not too far from here. I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head, but yeah, I don't think they do it either.
I've seen a lot of people do mostly American cheese because it just melts quickly on the heat. Okay, next one, fried chicken sandwich.
Number 1.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to put that number 1, because I don't think things are going to get much better.
Maybe not.
I'm not going to put that as a number 3 underneath wings.
In all honesty, chicken sandwich is a solid pick.
Yeah.
It's good almost any time. There's a lot of variety. It's good. I mean, it could be, you could arguably switch chicken wings and chicken sandwich. They're very,
I agree.
very
it just depends on like the mood almost more so.
All right, next up, mac and cheese.
Okay, that's a 3 for me.
Not the same. I'm going to go 4. So I only have one more slot left.
Yep.
Yeah, yours is
Number 2.
Number 2.
All right, next up, last one, smash burger.
I'm fine with that being number 2.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. It's number 5 for me. I mean, I just like burgers in general.
Oh, smash burgers though are so much better than just regular burgers.
Oh, but this isn't like smash burger only, like the company, right?
No. This is like a smash
just
burger.
A smash burger. Okay. All right.
No, smash burgers are so good. They get that like nice crust on the burger. Flop it. Oh, it's good.
Messy. And you got Okay. I think I messed up Brett's order. So Brett, you got number one was chicken sandwich.
Chicken sandwich.
Yep.
Number 2 is smash burger.
Uh-huh.
Number
Yep.
3 is chicken wings.
Uh-huh.
Number 4 is mac and cheese.
Uh-huh.
Number 5 is Philly cheesesteak.
Yep.
Is that right?
Do you know
Okay.
what the funny thing is if I knew all of those items, that's probably the order that it'd be in.
Well, way to go, because I got chicken sandwich, chicken wings, mac and cheese, Philly cheesesteak, and smash burger. I would arguably put smash burger around 2 or 3. I'd probably bump at least mac and cheese down and just boop. And I guess in this, I don't know. I like mac and cheese. It's nice. I guess Philly cheesesteak would be my last one too. Let me see what I think of Brett's.
Mac and cheese is so good though.
It is.
Only if it's baked.
I don't know. I can take it.
I could take it either way.
So have you ever tried these? These are one of the things I like. And I should just announce now. Oh, I'm going to just recommend it. If you ever go to Walmart or something like that, there's Cheeto mac and cheese.
I've seen those.
The jalapeno ones are.
I've been
magnifique.
curious about that. I saw not a Cheeto. I saw I want to say green chili mac and cheese.
Interesting. I haven't seen that one. But the Cheeto jalapeno, it's so good.
It's not bad.
All right. Brett, you're up again, and you got what would you have done?
All right. So you've been Freaky Friday'd with your kid for a week. Now, generally, this always happens during the big presentation. And your kid is, either trying to ask a girl out or has a big soccer game or something like that. So you've been Freaky Friday'd. You have a big presentation. They have something big in their life. And it always ends up going backwards. What would you have done?
What would I have done to trying to get mine done as well as there? Well, the good thing is most of my calls are on Zoom. So I'd be like, everybody always says my internet's not the greatest right now, so my camera's off. So I would just do that. And then my voice would be a little different, obviously. So I'd be like,
You have a cold.
I have a cold. Sorry. Don't look at me. I'm going to try the camera because I have a cold. And then that's how I would do it.
So basically, you would be in control of the entire thing.
Yeah.
Like Jude would have nothing going. He just has a week-long vacation in your body.
Yep.
And you're doing both his. Now, keep in mind, oftentimes in
They're at
Freaky
the
Friday
same
movies,
time.
they're at the same time.
I have a cell phone with Zoom, but the thing is yes, I couldn't probably do a full presentation on my phone. His thing is probably a band related thing, which I can't play the trombone. I mean, I played it back in 5th grade, and
You did the trombone?
yeah, I did.
Oh,
You take a sick day.
But yeah, Jude is really good at the trombone, and he's in multiple bands in his school, like jazz band and such. I would probably end up doing a Billy Madison where just blowing. He's good. But I would try my best. I don't know. Give it because there's no way to really.
And now it's time for Jude Williams's
Solo. I would just practice my heart out for that kid. I would just practice real hard. Be like, okay, coach me. How do I do it? Put me in, coach. How do I do this? I'd give it all I got. I could probably teach him how to do it. I think we'd work together as a good team. I'd be like, all right, this is how you're going to show off the thing for work. But
Okay, Tim, you have the ultra mega meal thing that you have to prepare. And also your kid has whatever, is he 9?
Yeah.
Whatever 9-year-olds have going for them.
Okay. If I had a food thing, like a presentation, or I'd have to serve 1,000 kids. I mean, I would. My boy is very good at following instructions sometimes, and so if I was to keep it simple and say do this and this, you'll be fine. And I think he could follow those simple, basic instructions on how to do something for one day. But and then I could do probably anything for him. No problem.
You're like,
No problem.
no problem.
No problem. You have similar interests.
I could be like, well, okay, yeah. I can make it through the day. This is almost like a vacation day.
Yeah. That'd be fun to Freaky Friday with an
grade.
elementary school kid.
You're like, oh, this is recess. I love recess.
They need to do that. They need to do a Freaky Friday with a young kid. And I mean, obviously, the adult would be just another big kind of movie, but the adult as a kid would be awesome.
Well, and the main reason why I bring this up is last night we as a family watched the family version of Freaky Friday, which is on
the family version.
Yeah, it's
Lindsay Lohan one.
No, it's as Ed Helms. What is it? I thought I was looking up
Ed Helms.
Ed Helms is the dad.
Is it like the family?
It's called Family Switch.
Yeah, okay. I have seen that on Netflix.
I've never seen that before.
It was fun. It was fun. And if you've ever wondered what it would be like if
was it random? Like, because did everybody switch?
Everybody switched. So mom switched with daughter, dad switched with son. But the funny thing, here's the weird thing about the whole movie is, they were, it always starts off the same way. If only you knew what it was like to be me.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. However, they brought with them their pug dog and their baby, and the pug dog and the baby. And I'll tell you, sometimes that is like the best part of the movie.
How old's their baby?
Their baby is like
is it a crawling baby?
It's a walking baby.
It's a walking baby. That's hilarious. I'll have to watch it now.
Some of the things that the baby and the dog do are probably the most fun part of the movie.
That's funny. I'll have to give it a watch there. All right. And I'm up and I get lick off. Okay. Starting with Criddle. How much what's your higher dollar of licking a Bear Hotel mattress at the Motel 6? Or I guess motel, not motel. So a mattress at the Motel 6 that has all the sheets pulled back.
$6. I can't afford that.
So is it in any Motel 6, or do you have somewhere specific?
Any Motel 6.
Okay.
I assume they're all about equal. I don't know.
How big of a lick? Like an inch?
We're gonna say if they have buttons, it's gonna go from button to button.
Ooh.
Boop, boop. So that's probably like 6 inches then, right?
Something like that, yeah.
$100.
Oh wow, this is gonna be fast. Brett, are you even gonna do anything?
Just turn on the camera on my phone.
And then
is this a bidded? Like,
yeah, like down? This is a lick off.
Okay, yeah, $100.
Sweet. All right, we're done.
And then we turn on the UV light.
And the only place that had anything, like it was a pretty clean mattress, except for from that button to that button. That there was,
Question. Do I get to pick on the mattress where I lick?
Yeah, you can pick anywhere.
Okay. So,
but it's, yeah. So it can't be like the sides though.
No. You said button to button. So it's got to be somewhere in that like middle quarter. But like, you don't say I got to go from the outside button to the inside button. I could go from outside to outside.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Strategy. And I'd probably pick somewhere in the middle.
And for the fun part is, I feel like that's worse to go in the middle.
That's worse. Oh my word.
The outside middle?
The outside middle. I feel like the best would be going towards the bottom of the bed.
But see, here's the thing.
I feel like a lot of stuff happens at the end of the bed.
There is a lot of stuff. And then here's the interesting thing, because you don't know if that mattress was, you're like, okay, I'm going to play it safe and be at the top button. But they could have flipped the mattress to the
That's true.
To the other side.
That is
right.
True.
So if I stick to the outside,
No?
I don't know. I don't know how.
I don't think there's any safe.
Yeah.
All I see is $100.
All I know is before you lick, I'm going to turn on the UV light,
$100.
the black light or whatever.
$100 and get tested for something after.
And there's a new disease called the criddle.
And take this and this and then these.
Oh, thank you, doctor.
Oh, I'm not a doctor.
Well,
That was gross. Ugh. All right, Criddle, you're up next, and you get to end us with a random question.
All right, let's see how many listeners' feelings we hurt with this one. If you had to eliminate 5 states from the United States, what would they be?
5 states from the United States?
Yep.
What happens to them?
They dissolve into nothing.
Okay, Rhode Island. Okay, so the least amount of people are affected.
Florida? Apparently, I don't care about people.
They just dissolve.
I think Florida would help a lot. Just you could feel the IQ. Sorry, Floridians. The IQ of the.
That's not true. That there is a statute in Florida state law where things can be reported that should probably not be. That's why they have the Florida man. Like you don't think that people like in Utah or whatnot are impervious of stupid stuff. We just don't have laws that restrict the divulgent of.
I mean, like throwing an alligator in a Wendy's or like trying to hold up a Wendy's with that said alligator. Like, I feel like that would have been reported in Utah, but obviously we don't have alligators.
So, Rhode Island, Florida.
Mhm.
I'm going to keep track of this. So, Brett says Rhode Island. So, that's his one.
It could be anywhere in the United States. It could be in the middle. It could be the outside. Whatever. It could be.
But it has to be the full state, right?
It has to be the full state.
Okay.
And let's just say it gets replaced with water.
Ooh, that would be kind of fun to watch.
So like if you pick Florida, then the ocean just kind of sinks right on in. It's like it never existed.
And America loses its twang.
Mm.
I'm sorry for you listeners that live in these states that we are going to hit, but you know what? Like I'm bringing up our old rivalry against Wyoming.
Okay, I'm gonna piggyback on that.
Oh,
Okay.
Utah is now going to get some beachfront property.
Well, and the only reason why I do that is, do you know how many times people have I randomly will run into people and it is like, do you know what the worst state to drive through is? And I'm like, I don't
It's
know.
Wyoming.
And they said it's Wyoming, and then secondary to that is Nebraska.
No, I believe.
Oh.
Kansas is boring too.
So yeah, you guys are making new beachfront properties here.
Kansas is boring, but you know what? They do have farms. I don't know what Wyoming has. I'm not sure. I know Nebraska has. I did not wipe off Nebraska because, we might need some corn for the corn husker.
I'm going to say Nevada
Ooh.
because I don't really care for anything in Nevada. And like Las Vegas is truly the only thing that I'm aware of.
It's like Tahoe, I think, right?
Yeah, but I've never been.
But you're
So that's going to
replacing
be
it
3 corners.
So now Utah has got beach on both sides,
Oh man.
but also it's 2 states that I don't really care for. I mean, Nevada's fine.
I feel like that just makes Utah probably worse. Like there'll be more people coming here.
It's true. But now that the west side of Utah is probably more inhabitable because there's water because most people don't live on the west
That's
side.
true.
yeah.
Yeah.
So now we can spread out.
Hey, you'll get all those Californians coming over from the other
Okay,
side.
so then you have to vote California.
California,
Yeah.
That'll be number 1. So that way they can't migrate.
a wall.
I'm trying to think of a way. Because if I got rid of California, I'd get rid of Hollywood, which would be a detriment.
Don't stop there.
I
Just,
mean, what are you talking about? You have Hollywood Part 2, which is in Atlanta. You have Hollywood
Yeah.
Part 3, which is in Canada.
Uh-huh.
Like, you know what? We don't need Hollywood anymore.
why you're just making Utah the new Hawaii. Just-
No, we're making Utah the new California, apparently. Is there any eastern states I want to jump on before I go into California? Because I'll leave Washington and Oregon and Idaho. I could go after the Dakotas just because I want to and I have the power.
Okay, but which national parks are you wiping out of existence?
Oh,
Probably South Dakota with Mount Rushmore.
You're
Isn't that one?
gonna wipe out South Dakota? So that
who needs the sign?
oh,
Why? You like South Dakota?
No, but it's just one of you're wiping out one of America's natural wonders. I watched that the other day.
He's creating
What
new
was
national
that on?
wonders.
I was just thinking about it.
That was My Fellow Americans.
Oh, that's right.
You're-
That's right. You got to be kidding me, right? You think this is a natural wonder?
Oh, well, that just makes it.
Louisiana also pops in my head, just to help the whole country out and getting rid of the problem child that like it's always going to be a problem.
Louisiana.
Just because every time a hurricane comes through, it's
Hey,
going to hurt
Either
everything.
that, or you just leave Louisiana there and just let nature take its course.
There you go. That's true. Man, as I get to the East Coast, Brett, would you take out New York?
Yes.
Do you want me to write that down?
Yep.
All right.
Ooh.
Does
No New York?
No.
how about this?
That's a lot of movies gone.
Does this count? District of Columbia.
Ooh. Well,
They all live in
because
Virginia.
he said states.
States.
And so
Yeah.
I guess the only way that you could wipe out District of Columbia, unless it became an island unto itself, is just take out all of like
Virginia, Maryland. They can't do that. Jude lives there. Oh gosh. So
I
you
know.
have
It's a
New
tough
York,
question.
Rhode Island,
Rhode Island, New York.
Wyoming, New York.
Wyoming. I'm gonna do New Mexico
New Mexico.
because I was there for about 4 months, and I'll tell you, maybe I just wasn't in the certain area. I don't know what they got going on there.
I don't think they have anything going on there. I mean, I think Albuquerque and Santa Fe are about it, but I don't think they have much either.
Little sus down there.
No, I think Arizona also has a little, but
Let's see. What other state bothers me?
I know. I'm trying to think of all the
What
states.
states
I'm good thinking of like Missouri. I'm just kind of going over in my head here.
I mean, do you want to get rid of Ohio State?
Oh,
I don't know if my
no.
We're thinking college football here.
I don't know if that's enough reason for me to get rid of the state.
No. Illinois. Wiped.
Ooh.
Really? Why
Yeah.
Illinois?
Why? Because Michael Jordan hurt my feelings.
Oh,
Well, you're done, sir.
that means well, okay. It's like a giant swimming pool now.
So the funny thing is, Brett, you're Rhode Island, so east, Wyoming west, New York east, New Mexico west, and Illinois central.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So central got away barely with you. With me, it's Florida east, Wyoming west, Nevada west. I'm not going to continue with these patterns that you're doing there. How come you didn't take off California since you're trying to hype me up to take California?
Oh, well, with your pattern, they're going to be like Tim said, they're going to be flocking this way. So, if you just got rid of them, then
But if California disappears, they're gone.
Yeah.
Whoever's there.
They're just all, you know what? This is what this is. This is the gauntlet.
Ching.
Just
Ooh,
like
it's
the
a snap.
people and then the city just disappear. Or the
Exactly.
or what you could do if you really wanted to like isolate California is you could also wish for Oregon to be gone too. And they could basically be just attached to the peninsula of Mexico.
And a little bit of Idaho, I think. Doesn't Idaho
Yeah.
touch them?
I think so.
Just like
I
a
think
teeny bit?
Maybe just a teeny bit.
Yeah.
But with modern technology, they can fly. It's fine. Do I have any reason to get rid of Alaska? I think Alaska is just cute. I don't want.
Alaska's fun. Don't knock Alaska.
All right, I'm getting rid of California.
All right. Sorry, Tim. Hope all your family members moved out.
And then after California, beautify the country. What am I doing?
Stay indoors.
You just up our property values
I know.
drastically.
Yep.
Woo.
So you have one more?
Yeah, one more. Florida, Wyoming, Nevada, California. Apparently, I don't like most of the West Coast. I'm just gonna piggyback off of you and do New Mexico.
All right.
Dang.
Okay.
Okay.
Is there any we missed that you wanted to see?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Maybe
Yeah.
we'll continue this trend, and then next time we'll eliminate another 5.
Hey, FYI, Utah stands alone.
Yep. That's just,
See who the last 5 states are standing.
and the 5 are still standing.
Let's see. All right. The last 5 standing. Utah, because let's see.
So essentially, we're just. I like Oregon a lot.
I'm gonna keep Utah. I'm gonna keep Maine. I'm going to keep
They're all going to be islands, obviously.
exactly.
Yes.
Well, except Maine, I guess, will be attached to Canada.
Yeah.
Utah, Maine.
You take Massachusetts.
I like history. I feel obligated to keep Texas for Nikki. So I'm going to do that. Does that mean I'm
Well,
obligated to keep?
I bet more people would flock to Texas than anywhere else.
Let's see. I'll keep Virginia so Jude could stay afloat. And you know what? I'm gonna do Tim a solid. I'm gonna keep Vermont so that he has maple syrup to be able to serve.
Okay.
Wow.
I was like, when you went to Vermont, I was like,
It's like there's still Canada syrup.
yeah. Yeah.
But we don't want to import.
Import. No import, export.
Okay. I think mine's about the same besides Vermont. So screw Criddle. I'm going to do Oregon.
All right.
All right. Well, we have a new segment here that I am calling King of the Year. So what this is essentially a mini March Madness of movies that what it's going to be is every month there's going to be whoever's the most amount of money is going to be the representative of that month, and then we're going to compare it to the next month. That movie was released in February. We'll compete against January, and we'll move all throughout all 12 months until we have a winner.
Ooh, this might help with our Normie Award, which is coming up.
Well, this is for past
Oh, okay.
years.
Stay tuned.
So I just randomly chose a year,
Okay.
2015.
Okay.
Year I got married. So there we go. I guess
Movies are
there's
flooding back to my mind.
all right. So the movie that won with the most what is it called? Box office
Mm-hmm.
is American Sniper.
Okay.
Okay, that will be
January?
competing. What was that?
In January.
In January.
Okay.
So January is American Sniper, and February is I'm getting turn that off. I'm okay. I think I'm gonna know who's gonna win this. February is February 13th, so if you will, day before Valentine's Day. 50 Shades of Grey.
Let's see. What do I pick? It's gonna eke out by just a scratch, but I'm gonna go with American Sniper.
Ooh, just a scratch, huh?
Just a scratch, uh-huh. You need some fiber, Tim.
We'll go with American Sniper.
That reminds me. What is it on Hot Shots Produced? Like, ooh, I got to scratch. It's a real
Ooh,
gusher.
I gotta cut too.
It's a real gusher. All right. So American Sniper moves on. Going against January's going against March now. March. Top one is the live action Cinderella.
Live
Live action Cinderella versus American Sniper.
Yes.
American Sniper.
My shoe. You shot my shoe.
Movie over.
Okay. Next one. American Sniper versus Furious 7.
I got to go with Furious 7. Hear me out. It is technically the last one with Paul Walker in it. And they shot about 50% of the movie with Paul Walker. And then the other half, they had to be strategic with their filming. And they used his brother to kind of fill in the gaps.
Mm-hmm.
And on all honesty, Furious 7 is actually one of the better Fast and the Furious movies. I saw it in theaters.
Brett.
American Sniper.
All right. Well, now I'm gonna have to intervene, and I didn't want to because I haven't seen Furious 7. I've seen American Sniper.
It's got The Rock. It's got.
I'm gonna go with a shocker to me. I'm going with Furious 7,
Okay.
which will be interesting going against May because May is movie month. If you ask me,
I know.
Mhm.
I think I know what June's gonna be, but keep going.
May is Avengers: Age of Ultron
Versus Furious 7.
versus Furious 7.
Interesting.
I'm gonna go with my Furious 7.
Okay, I'm just gonna let that ride with Tim.
Okay.
Ride or die.
Okay. Furious 7 is going against June now, and June is Jurassic World.
I knew that was coming.
Jurassic World.
I'll go with Diet Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So Jurassic Park or Jurassic World continues on. And Jurassic World is going to be going against Minions.
Jurassic World.
easily.
You guys said that in unison. It was so
Mhm.
beautiful. All right. So now Jurassic World moves on. So June is winning and going into the August month, which looks like we took a little dip in moviegoers here. But I've never seen this one. But it's going against Straight Out of Compton.
I've never wanted to see
Jurassic
that
World.
one. Jurassic World.
Okay, going into September now. September, we have. Okay. Wow, really? That movie? Okay, so Jurassic World is going against Hotel Transylvania 2.
Jurassic World.
Jurassic World.
I thought for a second it was going to be Maze Runner, Scorch Trials, but
Jurassic World easily.
Hotel
That was-
Transylvania doubled that. Okay, going into October. And I had no idea that movie came out in 2015. Pretty sure that will be it. It is. This is going to be a good one for me, in my opinion, because I really like this movie, The Martian.
That is a good movie.
I do like The Martian.
Jurassic World versus The Martian.
I picked The Martian. I like Matt Damon's character in there.
Matt Damon.
Matt Watney. I like the whole. I think it's a way better like Castaway.
It is way better. Castaway.
Than Tom Hanks's. I'm going with The Martian.
The inner dialogue, I mean, is much better than Tom Hanks's. Tom Hanks just doesn't talk very much.
Well, I don't know how accurate the science is for that movie, but it's still fun to. It's a fun watch.
Oh yeah, it's a fun watch for sure.
Which one would I mean, repeat watch. I think Jurassic World has a lot better. I have not watched The Martian probably since 2015.
It's about time.
You need to know. Listen to the audiobook first. The audiobook is amazing. It's read by Will Wheaton.
Will Wheaton. I've listened
And
to it.
His inner monologue is far superior than Matt Damon's because of course they cut a lot out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
And it's just it is way more comical.
I love both.
Yes.
Like, I think I like the movie more after listening to the audiobook.
Oh really?
And
I haven't seen the movie since.
And I like the audio, and I like the movie also. It's just they intertwine with each other. I like them both.
I need to see the movie now because I haven't seen it since I've listened to it.
All right. Well, I'm swaying Jurassic World, but I feel as though it's going to go up to our judge and it's going to go to The Martian. So I'm just going to go to The Martian and just,
So you said Martian and you said
I said I would like
You're
to
gonna go-
lean Jurassic World, but I feel as though our impartial judge is going to be extremely impartial and sway to The Martian.
We should
So
just
I'm
have
go-
it be a dice roll.
I'm just going to go to The
it kind
Martian.
of is a dice roll.
Just
but-
a dice roll.
Honestly, because it's kind of like the difference between how I'm feeling at the moment, between those two movies. Like, do I want something more fun and playful? It'd probably be Jurassic World.
And sitting there screaming, why does she still have heels on?
Yeah, exactly.
Wait, but like Matt Watney, his character, Mark Watney's character in there is he's so entertaining.
He is, but it's a little bit more serious. Where Jurassic World's kind of bizarre and out there and fun.
I don't know. I feel like they're almost on the same level.
I'm going to have to rewatch this sometime.
Like, I know he's in peril and everything, but like he has such this optimistic attitude that is like, I'm a botanist.
But you don't think there's a little
the
bit
crap
more-
out of this stuff?
You don't think there's a little bit more playfulness out of Jurassic World? Like just the fact that there's kids, they're exploring, they're having fun, and like Yeah, like you said,
I feel like the first
they're
maybe
both
like
in peril.
I think the first maybe like 15, 20 minutes of Jurassic World is like that because they're bringing you back into this world,
Fantasy world.
this fantasy
Yeah.
world, and then all of a sudden a dinosaur gets loose and now everyone's in peril.
But you don't feel like that would be like, I guess,
I don't know if there's as many funny moments, which is really weird.
yeah. Jimmy Fallon's about it when he pops up.
And,
Oh,
and
yeah.
even that is like,
Yeah.
it's almost like a chuckle, not really a laugh.
But I feel like I hate to say this. I mean, not I hate to say this, but like I'm gonna come up with a term right now. But it's like a feeling of the moment movie. Like if you have a feeling one way or another, like, oh, I feel like watching this versus that.
Yeah.
I think that's what it would come down to. Is like
I-
how you feel at that exact moment.
Either movie is entertaining to watch. But
Yeah.
for me, like, because I have little kids that like and have watched Jurassic Park on repeat so much that I'm like vomiting this Jurassic stuff all the time. So I'm like, to have this more of an adult version film that also has some witty humor into it.
Mhm.
I like that.
Okay. All right. So next, so we're down to November now. And it's The Martian versus The Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 2.
Oh, The Martian easily.
Martian. I did
can't-
not like the Mockingjay.
I
Yeah.
never watched part 2 until just a couple months ago with the family. Like I was so disappointed on how they were doing Mockingjay Part 1. I could not stand it.
I couldn't stand the books either, so I just
The first book is fantastic. The second
Yeah.
book is almost like very eerie similar to the first book,
Mhm.
except slightly different. And then the third one, I started reading it. I'm like, okay, this is okay, but maybe I'll just watch the movie and
Well,
just claim that I read it.
I like the first book. I think I like the second book better, but I just wanted to rip my hair out with the third book.
Yeah. Yeah. The third one, I hate to say this, and I said that again. Man, I got to really stop saying that.
I love to say it.
I
but
love to say it. I really wish they would have drawn out the third story more in the book as well as in the movie. Like, don't just. It almost felt like it was forced to end. Does that make sense?
Yes.
I also think it was stupid that they split it into two films. Like,
Yes.
that was a cash grab.
Yeah. No, that was a cash grab. I mean, just like The Hobbit was a cash grab with 3 films.
I'm gonna get off my soapbox now.
Okay. So
You
Martian,
get off that thing.
don't fall.
It's wobbly.
Don't fall. The last one against December now. Martian is going up against Star Wars: The Force Awakens.
The
That
Martian.
now remind me. I'm pretty sure. Well, actually, which one is the Force Awakens?
Awakens is the first one in the Disney trilogy,
Yeah.
which is basically A New Hope, except different.
Oh, is this the one where this is the introduction to
Kylo Ren.
Kylo Ren.
Kylo
Rey.
Ren
Rey.
and Rey?
I'm gonna surprise myself and go with The Martian.
I'm no surprise where I would go.
I'm just going to go with The Martian.
Yeah. If it was against Rogue One, what would you do? Just curious.
Rogue One.
Yeah, I'd go with Rogue One. I really liked Rogue One.
I think I still go with The Martian.
Yeah, I'd probably go Martian too. All right, so we got our movie of the year
2015.
is The Martian. Yay. Alrighty, so now it's time for our draft, which we are going to be drafting the best cartoon series according to us. And I think at the very beginning of this, we're going to have a lot of, oh man. But then I think by round 3 and 4.
I don't know. I don't think anybody's stealing any of mine.
Well, we'll see about that.
Yes, we will. We will have to see this. This will be seen.
This will be seen all the way through.
Ooh.
Okay. So, Brett, you are up first.
I mean, if I really wanted to, this I think is number 1 on both of your lists. If I really wanted to, I would steal it right here and then just pick the rest of them just to kind of be like, eh. But I feel as though you guys hold it in a higher esteem than I do. So I'm going to pass on Futurama.
That was on my list, but
It was on my list.
I was
Not number
expecting.
one.
I was expecting that to be number 1 on both of your lists.
I don't have a number 1 per se. I just have trying to play the game
Okay.
kind of thing.
So I'm going to go with the Venture Brothers series. I find it so fun. It is, if anybody who grew up in the 80s that was watching Hanna-Barbera cartoons, it is like Johnny Quest, except it is very vulgar and very silly. And even though the silliness, for the first little while, you have no idea. You just think that they're standalone episodes until you realize, oh my gosh, they're doing an arc. And then not only that, you're like, oh my gosh, they did a season or series arc that you were not aware of until you saw the whole thing. And I guess the frustrating part is when people were watching it initially, they would release the first season. I think the first season came out in the early 2000s. And the second season didn't come out till like a couple of years later. So they were, and so I really, in like last summer, I really sat down and enjoyed watching the entirety of it. And it was just fun because it poked fun at the Hanna-Barbera Johnny Quest type stuff, but also just silly too. And of course you have Patrick Warburton as one of the main voices, and pretty solid.
Good things.
Good thing.
It's funny you bring up Johnny Quest because I did not like that show when I was a kid.
Hey, when you were like 5, 6, 7 in the 80s, the only cartoons that you had was
Ninja Turtles.
Whatever was on.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
You waited for that Saturday morning lineup, and you were there at 7 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I find like I did not like I didn't watch. I don't know why. I never watched G.I. Joe. I
Mhm.
never watched Transformers.
Mm-hmm.
And Johnny Quest was on. I'd always like, I'll watch something else. But yeah, I didn't watch a lot of like the hardcore 80s shows for some reason. The cartoons.
Odd. It's almost like most of your childhood happened kind of in the 90s.
I mean, I was there for 5
Yeah,
years.
You were there for 5 years.
Half the decade.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, like I said, I'm playing the game. Just going to take it, Futurama. And it is one of my more rewatchable cartoons. I could watch that easily anytime, anywhere. I love the humor. It's a different humor than all the other Matt Groening stuff. I almost hate the fact that Matt Groening keeps trying to make new cartoons with Netflix, and it's like, stop. It's not funny. But yeah, that's where I'm. And I have like a soft spot in my heart for Bender and Fry. Like those two are some of my favorite characters.
They just take it back. Bender, Fry, Leela, Zoidberg.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the whole gang.
Yep.
I'm Dr. Zoidberg.
And as I watch it as an adult, it almost is like there's a lot more jokes I missed even as a teenager when I watched it. So good times.
I know what you're going to pick.
What is he going to pick?
I'm not going to say, because if he doesn't pick it, then I can pick it.
He's going to pick his nose.
Yeah.
Cage.
Pick it, roll it, flick it. I mean, I've got a lot of shows on my... I'll have some honorable mentions at the end. What am I going to pick? Well, because I'm not just thinking about the quality of the show. I'm also thinking about maybe like the length, like how much content material there
Mhm.
is.
So you're going to go with the 37 seasons of The Simpsons.
And then like season 33 is not available digitally. We're going to... Simpsons is on my list. I don't know if I'd pick it. I haven't watched it in like 18 years.
Yeah, I used to be able to not miss The Simpsons. Now I don't miss The Simpsons.
I think there was something about watching The Simpsons back in the 90s because there wasn't as much content, and it was also very funny and topical at the time.
Well, yeah. Well, and I think that was something that Brett brought up previously is like, because the media and all that was just like, kind of like we all had one brain as far as topics go. Like when something was popular, we all knew it. Now it's like,
It's too much.
If you're into this kind of stuff, this is popular with this stuff in this category. And if you're over here with this group in this media, this is popular. And so the Simpsons have a harder task to like strike those topics.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna have a balance. I guess there might be some series that are a little longer, some series that are a little shorter, but I'm going with just stuff that is enjoyable. And I also have the will too. So I'm gonna go with Batman the Animated
Yep,
Series.
that's what I thought.
I knew one of you guys would pick that.
It is actually really fun, a good watch, good quality content.
Have you rewatched it as an adult?
Yes,
Is it still good?
absolutely.
I might have to give it a try.
I think I have some of the seasons digitally, but it's on Max.
Okay.
So it's a fun watch. I think that was just the Batman as a kid. I mean, aside from Michael Keaton, I think it was even inspired from Michael Keaton's Batman. So, and they just kind of kept it rolling in the series, and then like Kevin Conroy became the Batman voice.
Mm-hmm. Yes, he did.
And I still think he is the Batman voice.
Yeah, when I read comics, sometimes I hear his voice in some of them, and then like when the comics are super cheesy, I hear Adam West's voice.
And in all honesty, I do hear a difference between when he does Bruce Wayne and Batman.
Yes,
and I think that's when it worked. I think it got really popularized, and it's just nice to watch. This next pick is for my wife. Shout out to her. I'm gonna pick Avatar: The Last Airbender.
I saw that on people's lists. I have never seen an episode.
You should watch it.
Is it anime?
No,
Okay.
it's actually pretty good.
And just for the clarification, M. Night destroyed the movie, right?
M. Night, so we actually watched about 35 minutes of the movie, and it's terrible. But the cartoon, I think you would enjoy the cartoon.
Okay. I will throw it on my watch.
Do you know
list.
the premise of the show?
This guy controls air or something like that?
So like there are these four different quote unquote nations that balance life. There's the Air Nation, the Fire Nation, the Water Nation, and Earth Nation.
Mhm.
And there are these special individuals in these different areas that control these elements. So people that control Earth can manipulate Earth in by creating things, by building large mountains, and just at will.
Mhm.
And then there's the Fire Nation that can wield fire and shoot flames from their hands.
Mhm.
Then same thing. There's water, except with water, there's like a source of water nearby where they can manipulate water, move water, and they can also have the ability to heal with water in individuals. And then there's the Air Nation, where these individuals, they control the wind and manipulate how like the wind can maneuver. They can fly with it. They can create wind tunnels and all this sort of stuff. So, anyways, these nations live in peace for a long time, and there's every so often there is an individual called the Avatar, and the Avatar is one person from, like, it could be from any of the nations, and usually once an Avatar dies, it goes to another nation, and they kind of sprawl out of nowhere. But this Avatar can control all the elements.
Oh, interesting.
Whereas normally you only control one. This one Avatar controls all of them, so that there's peace. And what happens is when the show picks up, where the Fire Nation is jealous for power, and so they're going after the Air Nation, which is the set for the next Avatar, and they come to discover in this nation that there's this kid that is very talented with the element of wind, and they believe he's the next Avatar, but he doesn't feel like he is, and so he kind of goes off, and then that's when the Fire Nation attacks and kind of does a whole wipeout of the nation.
Oh wow.
and the Fire Nation then believes that they've killed the Avatar, but no Avatar has sprawled up since, and it just kind of takes off from there.
Interesting. Yeah, I'll have to get that a watch.
They have that, and then they also have the live action one that came out, I think, earlier this year. But start with the cartoon and then go to the live action.
Okie day. I can do that.
There's only 3 seasons.
Okay. All right. Next, so I'm up on the clock, and I'm going to be picking something that nobody will take.
The Simpsons.
The Simpsons. No, Gravity Falls. I
Okay.
love Gravity Falls. Have any of you watched it yet?
I've watched a couple episodes.
I love
Never
it.
seen it. Never even heard of it.
It's
It's in conjunction with Rick and Morty at
Yeah.
times.
yeah, it's kind of a goofy kids version of Rick and Morty, kind of paranormal stuff. It takes place in Oregon, and they live with their great uncle, Grunkle Stan, and he's just a weird guy, and weird things happen, and yeah, I enjoy it thoroughly. Highly recommend it.
Cool. All right. So here's my question. And if I say Justice League cartoon, does that encompass Justice League Unlimited? And the only reason why I ask that is I do have the box set of the Justice League animated, and it comes with Justice League seasons 1 through 2, and then it also has Justice League Unlimited 1 through 3.
I'm going to say yes.
Okay.
Okie dokie.
I mean, Justice League Unlimited is the best part about that. Like the instant it be turned to Unlimited, that's where it really.
It's so good. But yes, I would say that because I mean, like, I know that they kind of split it into two, but I think it's like
still one.
It's one.
Okay. Part of me also wants to pick Fairly Odd Parents because I love Cosmo.
Did you see they're coming out with a movie?
I did. I saw the trailer for it and I'm like, huh.
It's so sad that Timmy's not.
I know. It was anyway.
But we have Timmy right
I'm right
here.
here.
Yeah, he's right here.
You're right here.
Hey, Timmy.
I'm gonna go with something that I started to binge watch about a year ago at this time. And that is G.I. Joe. I love that there is a 24/7 hour G.I. Joe channel on YouTube.
That's hilarious.
Oh, it's so fun.
G.I. Joe.
Till we meet again. Okay. So my third pick is going to be. It's funny because I was like, I have Fairly Odd Parents on here too, and I'm like, do I go now? And I'm also discovering as I'm doing this that I have not watched many cartoons since my childhood. So a lot of my picks are older because I think Gravity Falls will be the newest, and I think that came out in 2012. So,
oh wow,
and it's on Disney Plus, just so you know.
Okay,
So
Gravity Falls.
I think you and your kids will like it. To be honest, I think
Okay.
your wife will too. It'll be a family show.
I've discovered that if I put something on without asking my kids, then they get wrapped up in it.
That's the way to do it. That's what I try to do. I've tried that numerous times, and my kids are like, "All right, can we watch something else now?" I'm like, "Oh, you're the worst." I'm going to choose Family Guy. And I am still interested in rekindling my love for Family Guy. I've heard it's gotten better. So
Interesting.
I would like to find that out for myself because I got off after the season of that bird episode.
Yeah, everybody's heard about the bird.
Yep.
Bird.
That was like, all right, this is where I get off. Doo-doo-doo.
Grunga, lunga.
Okay, so it's my turn.
Yep.
Ready? Gosh, I got to think about something. Let's see. I got options. I am going to go with this show. I think it's still going today, but it makes me. I think it's made with the adults and kids in mind, and so for that I'm going with SpongeBob SquarePants.
Ooh,
It's on my list, and I'm not surprised you took it. But
I
just remember poop.
I think there's just silly things in there that happen that I think make adults chuckle, but then at the same time, it's geared towards kids. And I think that's where you can find a good kid or a good cartoon.
Yeah. That's why I like Fairly Odd Parents so much.
I agree with that. Fairly Odd Parents is kind of the same vein.
Okay. I don't know what I got to pick for my last one. I haven't rewatched this series, but I'm gonna put it on my list anyway, and that is X-Men,
Which one?
the
97?
90s.
The 90s
Oh,
one?
the original
Okay.
one.
Isn't
So
the
not
97 one the continuation?
Yeah.
It's like
is it?
Justice
Yeah.
League Unlimited.
Okay. I wasn't sure if it was a continuation. Or
I
not.
never finished watching the X-Men series because they were so like somebody did a documentary on the X-Men animated series on YouTube, and it's really interesting because what annoyed me about that is they would always say next week on X-Men, and then they would replay something that they'd already seen, and they had the cartoon never always finished.
Interesting.
And so
So that was by design.
well, and not only that, but Marvel at that time was getting ready to go bankrupt. In fact, that's why Sony actually owns
So much of
Marvel stuff is because they were they were about ready to go bankrupt, and so the only way that they could keep the lights on was to sell the rights to Spider-Man to Sony, to sell the rights to the X-Men and Fantastic Four to Fox and stuff like that.
Interesting.
And now it's Disney.
And yet they sat on them for a while, I feel like.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So you have Batman, the animated series, Avatar, The Last Airbender, SpongeBob SquarePants, and X-Men. We'll just call it X-Men 97. And then it's me. I am actually going to go with Fairly Odd Parents.
Nice.
I enjoyed it. When Brett introduced it to me, I liked the humor from it. And I love Cosmo.
Cosmo is the best.
And I was thinking about, I was like, you know what? That'd be a fun Halloween costume to dress up as Cosmo and Wanda. Yep.
All right. So is this my last pick, or is
Yep.
it okay? No wheel, just
No wheel.
one.
Just the last one.
All right. Let's see.
He's gonna pick Simpsons. I know it.
You have so much content to watch.
So much.
Oh, if I wanted to go for content, I'd probably do what is it?
Looney
One,
Tunes?
One Piece
One Piece,
Man.
yep.
So
I was
I
about
could
to
have
say.
over 1,000 episodes. I got criticized by my students because last year I'd watched the One Piece series, and they're just like, "Oh, boo! You only watch live action. You need to watch the anime." And I'm like, "But there's over 1,000 episodes of the anime," and they're like, "Yeah, we're not even done with it." But I can't believe you'd comp. I go 1,000 episodes, 10 episodes.
It took me 3 years to watch one a day.
But that's interesting. Maybe if I just watch one a day, maybe I'll have to try that. That sounds like something to kind of like look forward to.
It's your calendar,
That's
your
a
little
commitment.
advent calendar. How long are each episodes? I'm sure-
Probably about 30 minutes, maybe.
That's a huge commitment.
If they were 40 minutes a day, ooh.
Yeah, 24 minutes. It looks like is what IMDb has them.
All right.
Oh, and to be honest, it looks like they have 1,137 episodes. So 4 years worth of content.
Oh.
All right. I know what I'm going for. This is my favorite cartoon of all time. I could sit down and watch it when I was a kid. I can sit down and watch it today and tomorrow. It is Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Love Scooby-Doo.
I feel like that's a rewatchable, and I mean, there's a lot of different versions of Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, there are. I went to watch it last night with my kids. It was one of those times where I tried to get them interested in something more I would be interested in. And because we went on a trip down to St. George, and they had a DVD of Scooby-Doo 2, the live action one, which apparently I think it's considered the better one.
Yes, the best part about the first live action one is the reveal of who the evil villain is,
Oh, yeah.
which is hysterical.
But I had to admit, I laughed quite a bit at Scooby-Doo 2 when we watched it. But so they were like,
Zoinks!
they were into it. And so I was like, all right, let's watch this cartoon. Unfortunately, I picked an episode that I feel like they threw the whole kitchen sink into.
Mm-hmm.
It was one of those cross episodes where they had...
Oh, like the Three Stooges?
Yep, it was the
something?
Three Stooges one. And I was like, there's so much going on here. It wasn't the slow burn of like a haunted house finding one clue at a time. It was just like, I don't even know what's going on right now.
You know what you should see? The movie Scoob. That was fun.
I have that.
That's a fun movie.
We bought that during the pandemic.
Well, because it came out, the movie, I believe, came out during the pandemic. Yeah.
Yep.
That was a fun movie. I really enjoyed
We were
it.
itching for some new content for my kids. And so we're like, okay.
Yeah. During the pandemic, we were itching for different content. I had no kid that I needed to worry about. So I bought what was it? I bought that one Vin Diesel movie, Blood. What is it? Where he's that superhero that gets reanimated or something like that. And then I bought the Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey, which that sucks.
I watched that on your list.
Oh, that one really sucks. I think that's probably one of the worst DC movies.
Ooh. Worse than 1984? Wonder Woman?
No, I think Wonder Woman 1984 is worse by far.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that was a stretch to get through.
No, I would watch Birds of Prey easily over that.
All right, so let's go through let's go through some of the sucky DC movies and see where this lands. Okay, I'm interested. So
you got those two.
So we got those two. Blue Beetle.
I haven't seen it.
Blue Beetle. Well, like, where do you want me to do?
So where would it? Because I will tell you, I have not seen it too. I'm a big DC fan, and I have not seen Blue Beetle because it just
Blue Beetle's way better than I'd say it's. Gosh, I'm gonna say Birds of Prey is better.
Just because Miguel's in there, I'm gonna say it's above those two at least.
Did you see that the last season of Cobra Kai dropped?
There's more.
There's more?
Yeah, they dropped the next 5, and there's gonna be 5 more in the new year.
So wait, you're telling me that the last season's gonna have 20 episodes instead of just 10?
Yeah. Oh. They said they're dropping it in 3 segments. They did 5 in the summer, they did 5 yesterday, and now they're doing 5 more in the new year. So there's more.
Okay. Have you seen Black Adam?
I have.
Okay, where does that rank?
For some reason, this is a me thing, and I accept this. This is okay. I'm going to explain it. It crossed every movie genre there ever is. I don't like movies that take place in like desert sands. I have an issue with the color red and yellow apparently, because if the movie is predominantly red or yellow, I really don't like it. So like Dune is kind of annoying to me. There's other movies out there like that. I really are looking like, oh, this is weird.
No, I was like, I'm wearing yellow glasses.
No, not like that. But like when the movie is consistently the same color throughout, it's not like you're visiting. Like Indiana Jones for some reason does not fit into this criteria for me because I don't think they spend enough time in the desert.
Well, Lost Ark kind of does.
It does, but anyway, so Black Adam, and also I didn't really care for the story much.
Oh, okay, I know what you're talking about. But yes, Black Adam. I mean,
I think Black Adam. I like Blue Beetle better than Black Adam.
Okay,
so I'd say it's
Wonder Woman 84.
Wonder Woman is the bottom.
That's
Black Adam's above it.
And Birds of Prey above Black Adam.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
See, I loved. I enjoyed Black Adam. That was a fun movie. It was. That's why I was able to like readjust my like hatred of my blind hatred for Fast and the Furious, because I'm like, this was just a dumb movie.
I guess the thing that's frustrating for me with the DC films is I don't know where everything fits in the timeline. Well, I don't know if it's all connected. Like they don't know what's going on. I'm just like, it's frustrating.
It's almost like they didn't have any plans, and they're just like, yeah, this fits in the universe. How? It fits.
Yeah, it's like they took a wad of they took a bunch of crap in their hand and threw it against the wall and said, "All right, whatever sticks, that's what we're doing."
Okay, have you seen the second Aquaman movie? Because I got
no, I have not.
10 minutes into the second Aquaman movie, and when he got peed and urinated in the face by his baby, which is a thing. But you know what? He can kind of control and prevent it from happening. It's just like,
I have seen the trailer to that.
So have I. You know what? I will tell you, the trailer to that looks a lot better than the trailer to the Marvel's what is it?
Eternals?
The Eternals, yeah.
Eternals is garbage. I mean, Eternals. If I were to put Eternals mix in this list, it would be.
Right there with 1984.
It's really close between 1984. So close.
Dude, man, Eternals though.
I think I would
Eternal.
I think I would put Eternals just a hair above it because I hate hate
80.
Pascal in that movie.
Oh,
so much.
Pedro
Life is
Pascal.
good, but it can be better.
And I also don't like Kirsten Wiig in the movie either.
Oh,
Like, I just felt like that was the worst movie ever of DC. And
see, and that's such a shame because Wonder Woman movie
Mhm.
was decent. It was good, but then like they took a huge step down.
guys, what if we did bracket comic book movies?
Mm.
I think this should be a thing where we do all of them.
All comic book movies.
Or is the ending just too clear?
I mean, I think the ending.
Keep in mind,
I don't know. Here's what I'm going to just pose this question to you.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see the ending with Endgame / Infinity War as at number one?
because wasn't
I think Dark Knight would be.
but wasn't Infinity War the most rewatchable
Yes.
action movie?
Probably was.
Because it beat Dark Knight, it beat all these other movies. So if the criteria is different, if we're going for what is the best, not what is the most rewatchable,
It's not rewatchable. It's the best.
the best. So then that's different.
Yeah, it's different.
So then there might be a different outcome.
yeah, the best, Jerry. The best.
Okay.
All right. I've been thinking about doing a.
Maybe we'll do that.
All right. Then bring us back. ChatGPT decided a winner for us
Okay.
of our cartoon picks.
Mm-hmm.
It is Criddle.
What?
It's the Airbender.
It says
that
Criddle's
person over.
lineup balances emotional depth, cultural significance, and humor with Batman and Avatar setting the gold standard for storytelling and animation quality.
There you
However,
go.
it says, however, Jeremy's mix of humor and creativity with Futurama, Gravity Falls could also win depending on preference of comedic and quirky
Interesting.
shows.
I do have honorable mentions. I have Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, Teen Titans,
Oh yeah.
Animaniacs,
I was kind of surprised you guys didn't pick Teen Titans.
Pinky and the Brain, The Simpsons, What If, Beast Wars, The Magic School Bus, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Captain Planet, Static Shock, and Batman Beyond.
I've never heard of Static
Mm.
Shock. I'm surprised nobody picked, like, have any of you guys seen Arcane?
No, I haven't.
I haven't either, but man, everybody loves it.
So IMDb's list of 150. I'm not going to read them all, but number 1 is Batman the Animated Series.
Woo!
2 is Samurai Jack. 3, Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Hey, see?
Number 4, Total Drama. Number 5, Scooby-Doo, Mystery Incorporated specifically. Number 6, Justice League. Number 7, The Avengers, Earth's Mightiest Heroes. Number 8, Batman Beyond. Number 9, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Number 10, Teen Titans.
I forgot about TMNT.
We should also do a most rewatchable cartoon,
I just feel like I don't have that much depth into it.
like movies.
Oh, cartoon movies. Okay,
Cartoon
I'm back in the
movies.
game. Yeah, I'm back in the game. I will say, though, I really do like watching Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, like this animated series, like the more modern ones, like
Mhm.
with Seth Green as, I forget which one he plays, but
Isn't Jason Biggs one of the voices too?
yeah, there's a couple series that I'm like, I really like these.
But you didn't like Brett, you didn't like the Turtle Mutant Mayhem, right?
I never watched it because I didn't really like the
animation.
animation style.
It was good
Oh, is that the one where,
as a movie.
yeah, it's the movie that it's kind of very similar to the Spider-Man animation.
Mm. Yeah.
More like the SpongeBob movies. It's a little different than the Spider-Man.
No, let me look it up because there's one that I watched that I really liked, and I liked how
It was enjoyable.
I liked. Oh yeah, I think this. Yep, this is it. Yep. I like this one especially because the ending was very non-traditional. I feel like
Which one?
the Mutant Mayhem.
Oh yeah, I enjoyed that. I
This-
hope they come up with a sequel.
Yep. All right, let's move on to our recommendations. All right, Brett, what do you got for us?
All right. So it's been a while since I've recommended stuff, and it has been Halloween. I'm always in for a good horror movie / series. So I will just say we're coming close to the end of From Series 3, which is so fun. I love that it is psychological, it's thriller, it's a horror all in one. Then I found and I believe it's on Peacock. The first episode's kind of meh, but then it just starts taking off. It's called Teacup. It's on, like I said, Peacock. It is a trapped on a farm in rural Georgia. A group of neighbors must put aside their differences and unite in the face of a mysterious and deadly threat. They're basically some guy with a mask comes, paints a line around the farm, and then just says, don't trust anybody, or do not cross that line, and don't trust anybody. And then they find out the hard way that if you cross that line, your organs start breaking and fizzling, and you start melting.
Interesting.
It's
What is
real-
that? You said Peacock?
It's on Peacock, and the series is called Teacup.
My Peacock subscription ends next Saturday.
Getting ready for
Black Friday.
Black Friday sale.
So if they come out with the same deal as they did last year, I'll be on board, but
Mhm.
I'm not going to pay full price.
And then another one, it's also on Peacock. It's called Hysteria. Takes place in the 1980s.
Oh, I've seen the commercial.
It
for that.
is a struggling high school heavy metal band of outcasts who uses the town's sudden interest in the occult to start a reputation as a satanic metal band. Unite until a strange series of events triggers a witch hunt that leads back to them. So it kind of takes place of the whole satanic panic in the 1980s with actual horrifying occult stuff that's actually going on. It's kind of fun. I enjoy it.
Alrighty. Well, my recommendation, I'm recommending to you guys specifically because of your guys' like for Cobra Kai.
Mm-hmm.
It is School Spirits. It is the bad girl, so-called,
Oh yeah.
on Cobra Kai.
Mm-hmm.
She is a ghost. She died. It starts out, she died. She's in a high school where the murder happened, and it's kind of an investigation of her trying to figure out who killed her.
Mm-hmm.
And there's other ghosts that are already there, and they're trapped there, and they can't leave the premises. And so you get the story of those ghosts. You get the story of her murder. It's just a fun overall murder mystery and kind of coming of age drama, teen drama.
Mm-hmm.
So I really liked it. I watched it all really quick, and I believe season 2 is coming out. The good thing about School Spirits is I feel like the ending, and I say this with Brett nearby, the ending is kind of not expected.
Challenge accepted.
So yeah, let's see. When is number 2 coming out? Oh, it's coming out in 25. So never mind. It's not coming out soon. All right, Criddle, you got a recommendation?
I got 4 recommendations.
Ooh, wow, just throwing out recommendations.
I'm giving them out like candy. First off, I know I've given this recommendation twice already, but my first recommendation is we are in a really fun time for college football right now.
I already had it written down before you said it.
Come on. There's so much chaos going on this year.
Yeah.
I don't remember
I like all the upsets.
I don't remember a time where there's been this many upsets, and just the whole 12-team playoff thing has just been wild.
Yeah, it really has.
There's only 2 or 3 more weeks left in the college football time, and then the playoffs begin. I'm excited for whatever happens, whoever gets there. I just hope it's not completely dominated by the SEC. And I hope that there's variety.
Oregon's going to take it all. Is my prediction.
I hope there's variety, but it's really fun to watch. So tune into that. My second recommendation is college basketball has begun, and I went to a game last week, and it's just a fun atmosphere to be a part of and to watch. And so support college basketball. I know it's just getting started, where teams are not really necessarily playing the most strongest teams. Some people are just to flex, but it's really fun to watch. So get into that. Even if you're into the NBA, it's also fun to get into that college basketball realm. My third recommendation is I watched almost every game in the World Series, and I I've never really been into baseball before, but that kind of got me a little more hooked into baseball. So get ready for baseball season next year. It's gonna be a lot of fun, I think. So there's that, and then we've already tiptoed around it, and that is Cobra Kai. They dropped 5 episodes yesterday, and my wife and I just finished this week the last 2 of the first drop, and then we binged the 5 that they dropped yesterday. And so now we're just like kind of antsy to figure out what's going to happen from here on out, because in Cobra Kai style, there's the miscommunication and then there's the chaos, and it kind of melds together. And so now we're just kind of wondering what's going to happen next. So if you haven't seen it and you want to finish it, this is the final season. Go watch it.
It's the final countdown.
Nice. I look forward to that.
Cobra Kai.
All right. Well, that's a good one.
Cobra Kai. Cobra Kai. Cobra Kai. Cobra Kai.
Good day.